Hi.
It's Jennifer and Cam. We've changed it up. I'm saying my name first.
Yeah.
It's January 31st if you're watching this the day that it launched.
Yeah.
And this is our 31st episode.
On the 31st.
Of January. And January is almost over finally because as you know, it's always 9 weeks long.
Yes.
And similar to January.
Yes, exactly. So I don't know, should we look up 3131 on numerology something or other?
Could
and
be
see
something lucky.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let us know.
If it's bad news, we don't want to know.
Don't
Don't tell us. Just keep. So I know we have to do an introduction, but I'm sure that people that have been watching for
Can
a
see
while
that the Joe Batt's arm is
Batt
actually
is
finished.
back. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we'll talk about that later.
Completed. Okay.
Yeah. So for those of you that may be just joining us for the first time, we're Kim and Jennifer, and we own a sheep farm in Belfast, Prince Edward Island.
Beautiful Belfast.
Beautiful Belfast in the country, but we always like to, we have our tongue firmly in our cheek when we say we live close to downtown Belfast. Beautiful.
Right next to the post office.
Yeah, exactly.
And Cooper's.
Yeah, Cooper's.
Have we talked about Cooper's? Cooper's is amazing.
Yeah, we can talk about Cooper's.
Okay.
Cooper's is a general store, which if you have not seen a general store in a long time, they're amazing.
And our community loves their general store.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's a meeting place.
It
and
is.
We'll do a whole Cooper's review.
Yeah.
The Coopers will be thrilled.
Yeah.
The Coopers are a real family.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. It's really the Coopers that run it. What, since 1961?
Is that like Mr. Hooper? Was that the store on Sesame Street?
Oh, I don't know. I can't remember.
Okay.
Anyway, so we have a sheep farm in Belfast, Prince Edward Island in Canada, and where it's winter right now, which we'll talk about because we always do a farm update if you haven't joined us before.
Right.
And we have a woolen mill where we spin fiber from sheep and sometimes alpaca, and every now and then cashmere from a friend.
And mohair from
And mohair. Mohairs from mohairs. And Angora goats. And we have Angora rabbits. We have personally Angora rabbits. So we also use Angora in some of our yarns. So those, our main staple is wool. So if you don't know, that's the staple that's a
staple is a bit of fleece.
Yes, a bit of a little hank of fleece.
Right.
And we do mostly 100% wool products, but we have some popular bases which contain locally sourced mohair, for now, locally sourced, and some very popular bases that have Angora rabbit wool.
Yeah,
Iona bunny. And if you've stuck with us for all 30 episodes up until this one, welcome back, and we're always happy to see you back here.
And don't forget to like and subscribe if you're happy to see us.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. And we read all the comments that we get on our YouTube channel.
Yes.
We love it.
Yeah.
We get some really good comments.
Yeah, funny ones.
Yeah.
We like it when we get to laugh at the comments too.
Yeah. So, so I guess without further ado, we'll start with what we normally talk about, which is the farm update.
Right.
So it's January, the last day of January in the winter. This is
else can we say?
other than the fact that the days are starting to get warmer. Or not warmer, longer.
I was gonna say they are.
Yeah, they're definitely not. Well, although we did have a day that was +4.
Spring like yesterday.
Yeah, +4. So that just creates a nice, beautiful skating rink of our parking
all
lot.
88 acres.
Yeah, because it froze right after. It went to 4, melted, created a nice little skim of water over everything, and then froze.
And now it's deadly treacherous.
Yes. So all of the animals and the people on the farm need to know how to skate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure it's not really the most environmentally friendly thing, but we have had to put some salt down around just to protect life and limb of everything.
And animals can slip and break their limbs too. It's scary when horses are on ice. We really don't like that. So we try to make sure they have a place that doesn't ice up, but it's pretty hard when the whole farm's been floated like a Zamboni went over it.
Right.
Basically. It's what happened,
And but the good news is is that the horse pasture is actually in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
We really try hard not to compact the snow over there.
Yeah.
So when we're bringing water and stuff like that, then if we're running the ATV over the ground, that sometimes makes it more slippery when you get a short thaw like that. So we really try hard to keep it as rough as possible, so that if it freezes, then there's still traction. So, and you might have noticed that I said ATV, because for people that don't know, we've probably talked about this in previous episodes, but we run our farm, we don't have a tractor.
We have no equipment, like no heavy equipment.
Yeah, exactly.
And we still feed round bales, which weigh between 400 and 800 pounds.
Yeah.
So if you're wondering why our shoulders are so big, that's part of the answer. So we wheel those around manually in some cases. We roll them.
Yeah. And
we tip them by hand.
Yeah. And they're mostly round. But
there's always a flat side.
There's always a flat side.
So getting it over that is
yeah. And when we first of all, when we started farming, we had small bales. So square bales, like what you would see when you think of a hay bale.
25 to 40 pounds.
Yeah, which was already a big effort for these office girls and guys.
Stacking bales.
Stacking bales. And then we were like, okay, well, they're expensive because they're like individually wrapped items. So that was really didn't make sense. So around here, people use round bales, big round bales. And when we say round bales, if you don't know, they can be 4x4, which is 4 feet by 4 feet, or 5x5, 5 feet by 5 feet, and I think they even go bigger.
6x6, I think.
I don't know.
I think they buy hay nets that big, so they must come that big.
Yeah, so they're
probably down in Texas.
Yeah, and they're pretty big, and they do hay, dry hay like that, but it's not that easy to make dry hay where we live, because usually there's a lot of rain, not the last 2 summers, but the drying.
Well, there's a lot of rain in June and early July now, which is when you would normally be drying off your first cut.
Yes.
And then no rain until October.
That's right. So dry hay is kind of a tough commodity in these parts right now. Like, people are really trying to come up with other ways to, like, other forages for their grass eating animals. And but what they do make is haylage, and people that are watching that may be farmers in other part of the world or country are saying, oh my God, they don't feed haylage to their sheep. Well,
yes,
if you want, yes, we do. If you want to feed your sheep and you want to keep it as natural as you can, as far as what they would eat, the bulk of their diet, which is grass, forage, then you need to feed haylage here for the most part. So it's pretty common here.
Yeah, we've sort of been forced to, but we've explained how haylage works before, I think, in another episode. But
it's fermented.
The reason people are afraid of it is because it's kind of like a canned good, so it can get bacteria in it, like listeriosis, botulism, things like that, because it's wrapped for preserving.
Right.
So if something comes along and pokes a hole in the wrap and air gets into your canned good, let's say, like if you didn't have a proper seal on your preserves, all the same things can happen with haylage.
Right.
And that can take down your animals. And different species are susceptible to different things. Like listeriosis isn't as bad for horses as it is for sheep. And I guess botulism is really bad for horses.
Yeah.
Probably bad for sheep too.
I would think so.
So it can get bugs in it, like bacteria. However, it's either that or no forage pretty much these days.
And you need a good hay guy.
Yeah.
There is a way, like there is a proper way to make it, and luckily we have a really good hay guy.
Yeah, so we trust him with our animals' lives. That's really what you're doing, right? Yeah. So it's important to have a good relationship and trust their skill level.
And I think that's probably one of the biggest surprises that I had when I became a farmer, is just how hard it is to grow. Because when you don't know, you think hay is just grass. And if you mow your lawn, you think there should be no problem to grow grass, but there is a lot more to it. Yeah. And luckily we have a really good hay guy, so we that's one thing that we don't need to worry about most of the time, as long as you have enough. of it. So we plant fields on our own property, and he does all the processing because we don't have a tractor.
You need a silage wrapper machine thingy and a baler and it's deadly expensive to get set up to start making hay or haylage
and preserving it.
There's a lot of heavy equipment required to do it. So it's not like every farmer makes it now because it's a huge investment.
We were told, kind of like a rule of thumb, if you're not making hay on 300 acres or more, the cost of the equipment doesn't really, it's more economical to buy it.
Right.
So
makes sense.
Yeah. So it just depends on how big your operation is and everything.
Like I looked up the thing that wraps the silage.
Yeah.
And I think it was like $120,000.
Oh, okay.
And that might have been a used one.
Really?
Just to get the wrap on it.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. People probably have no idea. Like we didn't know tractors. Like if you guess, you're coming from the city, what's a tractor cost? 30, 40K? Try a 180. Or up and up and up and up and up, just depending on how big you want it and how fancy and what you're doing.
And a tractor is kind of one of those things that, like when computers started being like in every home, that they used to say, oh, you got 4 gigs of memory on that baby. You'll never need more than that.
And our sheep could definitely not afford one.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we do a lot of the work. When we first started, it took all of us to roll a bale of hay, dry hay,
which probably doesn't weigh more than 300. Like haylage is much heavier because it's soaking wet.
It still has a high moisture content. It shouldn't be soaking wet, but it has a higher moisture content than dry hay. Yeah. And now we're 2 of us can move.
I can definitely roll around bale of hay myself.
Yes, that's right.
I think if my arms were long enough, I could probably lift a round bale of straw.
Okay.
I don't know what that
was. Not by what I saw this morning.
What did I do this morning?
I couldn't lift we had when they make the big bales, it's kind of like gets tighter and tighter inside. Like as you peel off the outside, which is how you feed it, and the core inside is tighter and tighter because it's a smaller circumference basically. And so we always have the core, which is a lot kind of a tightly wrapped center of the bale.
Like your yarn ball would be tighter in the middle.
Yeah, when you did it by hand.
Yeah.
So we use the cores to feed. Like we've got our 3 rams. The boys, they always we save the core to take to their little barn because they're in a separate barn from the girls. And we had a core of straw, and straw is pretty light. And it was, I don't know what, like
it was like this big around.
Yeah,
it's pretty big.
Yeah, you couldn't actually put your arms all the way around it, but. They're surprisingly heavy because they're quite dense.
We were trying to move it from one barn to the other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
in one
by hand.
In one big thing because we didn't want it
scatters
all over the place when you.
So we do things the slow and complicated but cheap way.
Yeah, exactly.
People would laugh. Like if you'd grown up with tractors, they're probably watching us down there rolling these things by hand, going like. Actually, someone from the Department of Agriculture said to me in September, will you please just buy a tractor?
Yeah.
No, we don't want to have to fix it. We bought a snowblower and we've never regretted it.
Yes.
Like the number of repairs we've had to put on the snowblower.
We've never regretted the tractor decision based on how well our
snowblower works.
Right.
Because they break down and they need parts and mechanics like your car. And I mean, I'm thinking the tractor mechanics are doing quite well.
Yeah, that's right.
If you were concerned about them. So it's a super expensive thing. And if you're kind of like smallish, like we are 88 acres, you really can't justify the expense. So we've had to find workarounds.
Yeah. Which we've done.
Yeah.
But I, always looking on the positive side of things every time that I have to do something pretty physical that's putting me to my limits. I say, well, this is what's keeping me young.
That's true. We're very fit.
We're fit.
That's true.
Yeah.
Our resting heart rates are like 50 and 51 or something like that, which is pretty crazy.
Before too.
Really? I thought I needed a pacemaker. I was like, what happened? It's weird.
Hello. Are you still in there? Yeah.
So we must be fit. Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we're fit in particular
Yeah, like we can't run long distance, or like, you know, you're fit for what you do, but it must be good cardio health because otherwise you would never have that resting heart rate. And I thought there was something wrong with me, and then I went and checked yours and it was the same. So we're more just like secretariat or something. We're just genetically.
But you said we can't run.
Well, it's not. We didn't build it running.
No, that's right.
I think if I had to run.
But if you need something done that needs strong shoulders, we're your girls.
Yeah. I can lift a 5-gallon water bucket like nobody's business.
Yeah, right up over.
Actually, it was funny. I went to Halifax on the weekend and I saw a friend that I hadn't seen in 18 years or so. And we used to bartend together. And so we were having girls' night out. It was really fun. And she was asking me all about my life now, and I was explaining, and she was saying, oh, I'm not working out. And I said, well, my lifestyle takes care of that. You know, I eat whatever, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, end of the night, I went to hug her, and she was like, God, you're so strong. Did you hurt her? I think I crushed her. Oh. And I was like, oh, I might be. I don't know. It's possible. Shit. Sorry. Yeah, she's like, oh my God. You're so strong. Which is funny because she works out all the time. So it must be strong, but you don't know when it's you. Like,
no, and there's still things that we can't do. Like the stuff that we don't practice, then, like, I don't know, the other day I tried to open something and I was like, okay, well.
Somebody give me a 5-gallon water bucket instead.
Yeah, it'll make me feel better.
Anyway, I scared her. Oops.
I bet.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go right to the FOs.
Okay.
I know that the viewers that have been watching us can hardly believe that I actually have a finished object.
Nobody can believe it.
No, when's the last time I had a finished object? It was a while ago.
I have no idea.
But.
Oh my gosh.
It's my Joe Batt song.
Oh, okay. It looks wonderful.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yes. So I'm just going to explain a couple little things because they're, it's, you know, we've talked. There's not really anything else that I could say about it, but this is the first time that you've seen it on me. So I just want to talk a little bit about not really modifications that I made to the pattern, but just choices I made for myself. So you'll notice that the sleeves are a little bit long. That was on purpose because I like it when the sleeve comes down just to like the end of your thumb.
Because we have big hands. I like to cover part of them.
No,
you don't.
No,
I have hold yours up. Look. I have huge hands, so I always like my sleeves to hide part of it. Yeah. And then I just have these weird tentacle fingers that coming off the edge.
Talking about Jennifer's animal body parts again. Okay. So but I like it just because it feels cozy. Yeah. So it feels cozy. And I did this, I measured and when I checked my gauge swatch when I started, my row gauge was slightly off. And it meant that my sweater was going to be longer than what the pattern I blocked it to the right. I blocked it to the right, the specs that were in the pattern exactly. But for my body type, I probably, if I wanted a shorter sweater, like a sweater that came right to the belt area, I would have probably had to make some adjustments there, but I didn't. I left it because I purposely like a sweater when it comes down to the hip. So you'll see in the pictures how that looks. And if you've been with us for a while, you'll recall that I made a size that fit me everywhere except for around the chest. So it was going to be too tight for the chest. So what I did is I changed the needle size from this section to this section, and I went up in needle size. So oh God, I can't even remember what I knit. I think I was knitting it in a 3.5 to get my gauge, and I went up to a 3.75 just in the section on the front and the back here, and it worked perfectly.
To create some more ease.
Yeah, so it just creates a bit more ease over the bust. And then the minute I was underneath where the line of my bust would have been, then I went back to the regular needle size. So that was the adjustment that I made. Now, there is a note in the pattern about the neck, the collar, that you may need to go down a needle size or two to get the collar to stand up, depending on the wool that you're using. So I knit the collar in the same size needle that I knit the rest of the sweater in, so I didn't do that. And I'm just trying to decide if I'm going to leave it like this or not. So it looks good. I like it that it's not really like tight to my neck. But once I blocked it out and it got it's got a good width to it, I guess height to it. I think I might like it a little bit tighter, so I'm gonna decide, but I think I'll just do the same needle size trick to fix it. I'm going to go down a needle size and just make it a little bit tighter, because it's just a little bit too gapey for what I want, even though it's kind of comes out exactly how it's supposed to. But when I looked on the projects in Ravelry, it seems to me that most people took the advice to go down a needle size, because it's just a little bit tighter.
Quite a bit snugger around the neck.
Yeah. So I like the openness, but it's a little too open, I think. So I'm gonna do that. But and I don't even have to back down the whole thing. I'm just gonna go down just below to where the pattern starts, and then I'll start doing the needle sizes. I could also play with the decreases, but I don't want to do that. It worked
for the needle
size. The needle size solution worked so great in the opposite way for the bust. I think I'm just going to do the same thing for the neck.
It's easier. Anytime you want to create ease or reduce ease, always think of that first.
Yeah, it's very easy.
Because it's a simple way to do it, and you definitely can't tell.
Yeah. No.
Like you would never know. It's not like your cables look bigger or anything like that over your bust.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I'm super happy to have it done. And I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to wear it for the whole episode, because it's pretty, our wool is pretty lofty, so it's pretty warm, but it's very comfortable actually.
It's nice and cool in here today.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And I don't know. I think this is the nicest thing I've ever made.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say so.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, and it's.
And we even gave you the good yarn. We didn't make you use seconds for this one.
Yeah, I actually I had the good yarn
for a change.
Yeah. So we've talked about that before. That we usually knit with the stuff that we don't
want to
send
out.
And we don't want to send out to people, but it's really nice.
It's beautiful. It's definitely going to be another showstopper.
Yeah.
All right, so that's.
Do
our
you want
only
to check
info.
the camera now that we said showstopper? The last time we said showstopper,
yeah,
the show
it's like
actually
the magic
stopped.
word. It's like the gong. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll check it. All right, camera's still running. Carry on.
Great. All right. So now we have works in progress.
Right.
So do you want me to show mine first?
Yeah, go, because yours is enveloping everything else on the table.
Okay, so once we get rid of my stuff, then so I started. In the last episode, I said that I was gonna go back to doing my birds of a feather. It might have been 2 episodes ago. So I have done that.
The last one.
The last one. So as you may recall, if you've been following us, I'm just gonna reach this. You can go back and look at the episode that shows birds of a feather in the picture, in the thumbnail. And I think that's where I confessed my sins on birds of a feather. So birds of a feather, I didn't have quite enough. We had a very special cashmere blend yarn that we made from cashmere from a farm in Nova Scotia that Jennifer dyed in this color, which is called Petals. And I didn't want to take the full amount that I would need to do this shawl, which I wanted to make with it. And so I skimped on the amount of yarn that I kept for myself and thought I'll just adapt the pattern and it'll be no problem. I'll just make it looks like it's pretty generous. I'll just make it a bit smaller and it'll be no problem. Everything worked fine until I actually did all the cast off, and I did a special bind off from another pattern that I really like. So I did all that, and then I went to put it on, and I really, then I knew that I didn't understand.
There was a big cutout in it, but we explained that last episode.
Yeah,
so
like
we
a check
won't
mark.
go over it again.
So I'm almost finished. I'm just doing the border now. So if you saw this the last time, you remember the check mark was way over here. So this little point here.
So as you go, it moves off to the side, and then that gets rid of it.
Yes.
So when you're done, it's gone.
Yes.
And you tried to truncate it here, and then you had this big slot out, which looked ridiculous.
It went like that, which you couldn't really see, although you should have, you should have been able to figure it out, but I never figured it out.
But it makes sense. So it's like an asymmetrical moving target.
It drifts. It drifts.
Yeah, it drifts. Okay.
So the border is quite big, and I thought I actually would have it done for today, but it's I'm not quite finished. But this is all that's left of the check mark. So it's great, a great progress keeper because you can see how close you are to finishing. So you reduce this side by 1 stitch for every 2 rows that you do. So I'm almost
got
done.
a few more.
This
color is just so beautiful.
I know, it's gorgeous. So I'm using Rowan
really
Kid
nice.
Silk Haze in cream and the petals. So we had no more cashmere, but we do have Angora, as I said. So last episode, we did a batch of Iona Bunny. And 3-ply Iona Bunny. And that was my chance to say to Jennifer, can you dye me a petal skein that would match my birds of a feather. So she dyed petals, but it wasn't exactly the same as what we had done for the cashmere. So you had to make this skein a little bit different, right? You just did a little more white space. It was the same
as what I did for the cashmere. It wasn't the same for what I did for the Iona Bunny that other people purchased.
Yes.
Like I put a little more color in it, but I was trying to match this.
Yes. So this has if you bought petals from the last episode.
Yeah, it probably has more color in it.
Yeah.
But because I had already had a more white thing I was trying to match with for yours, I did less color.
Yeah. So, by now, you all know that we're not afraid to rip out. We try things and then then we don't mind ripping out if we have to rip out. So when I got this ball of 15% Angora Rabbit with our wool, and the color looked really close to what I had, I thought, I'm just going to start knitting with it. So I didn't alternate with a little bit of what I had.
Yeah, it looks perfect.
Yeah, so you won't be able to see anything, I don't think. The wool is slightly more ecru than the cashmere batch. It's more white. And the cashmere batch is slightly more fine, but honestly, it's really hard to tell.
It's like right here.
Yeah.
So I did a really good job with the color.
You did.
Yeah. I want to take credit for it. That's a lot of luck. Really.
It's
like
amazing.
That's really lucky.
Yeah.
Because we would never suggest doing that.
No.
Not alternating with different dye lots, but we really pulled it off.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's impressive. This is so soft and nice. I know. Yeah, it's really going to be nice. You're going to want to have it on the couch, just watching TV.
Look at how big it is.
I know. I don't know how we're ever going to photograph it.
Yeah.
Good luck to me.
Anyway, it's
beautiful.
I love it.
And you're almost done, so that'll definitely be done by next episode.
Yeah. And I really worked hard to try to get it done because I just love it. And it's garter stitch. Mm-hmm. So, perfect for knit night, perfect for watching TV.
It's a great project.
Yeah.
Lina issue 2. It's probably individually for sale by now too.
Yeah.
As a pattern on Ravelry.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so soft and beautiful.
Yeah, it's really nice. So we're going to talk more about Kid Silk Haze, but I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I can put it over.
So the work, so finishing Joe Batt's arm, then that was my next thing. I wanted to try to finish that. So poor Emma
has gotten no love.
So for those of you that are doing the Cocoknits sweater workshop, Cal, with us, don't worry, I'm gonna finish it.
Oh yeah.
But I just, it's at the same place that I didn't even show it last episode, and I haven't worked on it. Since. So I just have a little bit of the arm to finish here, and you can't see anything, I know, but then I do the second sleeve. And it goes really fast. It's on 8mm needles, and I'm alternating the balls. This is Vineyard.
I think it's been close to your Kid Silk Haze. There's
yes,
a lot
I know.
Of bunny fur on it.
Yeah,
or something.
So this will be finished.
That's a super fast project.
It's really fast. So fast that I felt like I had to slow down for the knit along. And I'm so happy. I have it further down on our little itinerary today to talk about the workshop, but we can talk about it now. I've got quite a lot of people, and the sweaters are all coming along, and people are posting their pictures.
Oh, great.
And there's some really nice projects being done there. So keep going. And if it's February 1st tomorrow when you're watching this, you still have time.
Yeah.
It goes to March 31st.
It's fast, yeah.
And the sweaters go really fast, and it's really good to see the comments that people are posting, because it's the same thing as what I said when I started mine, was that once you it's not hard. But once you kind of figure out what's happening with the worksheets that are part of this method, then it's so easy to follow the patterns and you see how it all works, like how the construction works and everything. And it's really funny because when you look at you can go in on the thread and look at the Cal posts, and people are saying, "Oh, okay, now I get it." Like the light bulb goes on, like it did for me as well. So it's really fun.
It's a great skill builder.
Yes, it is. Yeah. So that's it.
And we have lots of books now. I think we got another case of 20 books. So if you're interested in learning the Cocoknit sweater method, we have the books listed.
We have the books, and we have also you can buy a little booklet of the workshop worksheets as well. So there's a worksheet in the book that you can use, but if you want multiple ones, then because you can use it on a lot of different sweaters.
Pretty amazing stuff. Pretty amazing.
So the balls are
program that they've got. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So what have I done? Well, I'm not ashamed to admit that I took the 2 weeks off from knitting because my shoulder was really bad and I was working on a very heavy sweater and I just couldn't do more than half a row at a time, so there was just no point. So I've had a break now and I'm hoping it sticks. I'm trying not to overdo it, but I did do a few rows on this before I took my break.
This is the Frankensweater. If people need to be reminded.
Wild and Reckless Heart. So this is a sweater that was intended for a 51-inch chest man, and I'm now making it for a 35-inch bust woman, but I'm doing it very generously sized. So I'm actually aiming for a 40-inch bust size.
Like a boyfriend sweater.
Like a boyfriend sweater or a Frankensweater, is because I had to cut out a section to get from the 51 to the 40. And I think I might sew this up soon because that's a good thing to do when you can't knit for long periods, like get that part done. Yeah. But essentially I've now, I've finished the body. So this is now the 16 inches that I need underneath where I join the sleeves. And so I'm going to just finish this little row here. I just stopped one short of my row marker so that it wouldn't fall off when I was carrying it home from knit night last night. So the body is done. Yeah. So I'm going to, and there's still a lot of dog hair on it, I'm going to start the sleeves. And I'm going to use the sleeves as a break project for in between the next thing I'm going to show you, which is something else. It must be dry. We're both losing our voice today. That's why I have water. So this is a beautiful cabled sweater. It's going to be super thick and cozy. And you know,
it's good to have it a bit bigger too, because it's going to be something you're going to want to wear for outside.
See cables. Yeah, I like to call them ferry sweaters. Like you're out on the deck on the ferry coming home at night. Oh, ferry boat.
Ferry.
Ferry boat.
Yes.
Yeah.
We live on an island.
Yeah, we live on an island, so it's always like, what can you wear on the ferry? So that you can stand out on deck.
Yes.
And watch, look for seals.
Dolphins.
No dolphins.
Yes, there is.
There are not dolphins.
There are.
In the Northumberland Strait?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to be out on the deck a lot more now.
You didn't know
Good thing I have the sweater. No, I thought we were looking for seals.
No. Dolphins? Well, I don't know. Now I feel like yes, dolphins.
Okay, dolphins.
Yeah. Oh. It's not seals. Did you? In fact, I think we saw them. We got to go up. Oh, maybe I shouldn't say. We got to go up and then.
There couldn't be dolphins.
Yes.
I don't know.
So, and we have pilot whales here too that they call blackfish.
Right.
And we have those, but I haven't seen those. I haven't seen those in the Northumberland Strait, but I'm pretty sure there's dolphins.
Anyways, if you're joining us for the Fiber Festival, you will want to come by way of the ferry one way and the bridge the other way. It's great to do both if you can plan your trip around that, because they're both experiences.
Right.
Yeah, and I love the ferry because Jaws is one of my favorite movies, and it always reminds me of the throngs of people arriving on the ferry to go get eaten by the shark. It's
that scene when they're all coming.
It's a real party atmosphere. Yeah. Just like utter chaos. They're all gonna land on this small town.
Yeah. Speaking about tragedy being a party atmosphere, our friends in Newfoundland have just lived through Snowmageddon.
Yeah.
And they had the best time. I shouldn't say. I'm not making light of the situation. They
was a
actually
state of
had to.
emergency.
It was a state of emergency. They had so much snow, and the wind gusts were up to, I think I heard 160 kilometers
It was
an hour.
cuckoo.
It's really, really something. And people were actually trapped in their houses because the drifts went up over
Just
their
a
doors.
wall of snow when you open your door with a doorknob print in it in the middle of it.
Yeah. So, but you know, those Newfoundlanders, they're
tough. They're a
tough.
running bunch. They probably had their canned milk all stored up.
Yep, and they
canned peas.
They
ready to go.
had they actually some people made snow forts, and we're in there. One couple had a tiki bar in a snow fort, and one guy that was on the news says, "I don't really feel like going in." He says,
I like it better out here.
I come out here every night.
The drinks are better.
And he had like an electric fireplace in his
Oh,
snow
wow.
fort. And he
This is
said,
amazing.
he says, I'm kind of like it. I'm sure it wears off after a while.
Yeah.
But it was really, really something. And a person from Newfoundland that is quite well known here. He said, it's only Newfoundland could have some kind of a big, I don't want to call it a disaster, but a big natural disaster. And when you're not home to be part of it, you feel like you're missing out.
Yeah.
They all came together and were helping each other and everything. So it's really
Look, I just tried to knit that little bit and I made a mistake. Okay. Stop now.
All right.
So this is my next whip.
We should say that the sweater you're wearing is ranunculus in
Look
the
at me
same
just
color.
back this out now. How did I do this? I made a mistake. Okay,
in the same color as what the next sweater you're doing.
So slate and slate. So what's happening here is I got a little teeny tiny bit of this done, and unfortunately someone else bought my colored yarn that goes with this, so I'm going to have a little bit of a delay now getting to make this. But this is another Jennifer Beale design that she's done with our Eldon lace, which this is also made out of.
Yeah.
It's the slate color as the body, and there's a color work feature, and it's a really cool pattern called Flat Rock. And Jennifer did post a couple photos of it while she was looking for test knitters, so I'm going to share those here. I think that's safe to do. I haven't written her and asked permission, but I think she's okay with it. And it is a beautiful pattern.
Yeah.
So of course I have to knit it, and it's got buttons on the side. And it's just stunning, which you're now seeing it, but I'm excited to do it. And someone else at Knit Night is doing it too, and she had quite a bit done last night. It actually looks like it goes pretty fast, but these are 2.25.
Yeah.
And I'm just doing seed stitch, and I don't know how I messed that up. But I don't have my glasses on, and it's tiny, so I have to now tank. But yeah, so this is the other thing that I'm going to be working on for I don't know how long. I can't remember what the deadline is for the sometime in February. No, March must be.
I don't know. I haven't looked, but I will give you a bit of good news because I know your shoulders have been sore.
Yeah.
And when you were knitting on your Wild and Reckless Heart, that they became very sore in your arms. And you may recall that a couple weeks ago, I was also in a situation where I couldn't knit.
Right.
When I was doing this furiously.
Right.
It's amazing what a difference it makes when you're doing something that's quite heavy.
Yeah.
I feel much better now.
Yeah.
And I've been knitting furiously on my Birds of a Feather, and it's not affecting me at all.
Yeah, it's going to be the little bit of the weight of the garment.
Yeah.
And I did notice last episode, I kept referring to this as worsted weight, but this Wild and Reckless Heart is actually in our Aran weight.
Right.
So it's a pretty bulky yarn that I'm using. It's going to be incredibly warm.
Yeah.
Because those cables are all double. It's just like a suit of armor.
Yeah.
And this will be light and fluffy. And for once, I'm going to follow Jennifer's recommendation for ease on the pattern.
Okay.
So, because it's kind of a really comfy, cozy, fluffy, sweatshirty kind of style. So I'm looking forward. I think I might even do the third size.
Oh.
I've usually always done her first size. But I'm going to see how my gauge is. Because if my gauge is slightly bigger, then I won't need to go up another size. But I really want it to be like sweatshirty. And it's beautiful, beautiful. So I'm super excited about working on that. And of course, you'll all get all the updates. So those are my whips and my socks that I was working on. The orange socks.
What happened to the sock?
Well, they're still there. I looked at them this morning.
Checked in on them.
Yeah, they're just gonna wait until I get these things done because Wild and Reckless Heart has been waiting a year, and so I don't wanna drop that again. So I'm gonna try to do these two simultaneously. So being a responsible knitter.
Well, you can take a break with the Flat Rock.
Well, one's a break, like one's like the sleeve.
One's a mind break and the other one's a physical break.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, because the sleeve won't take very much concentration for the Wild and Reckless Heart. And it'll be lighter too, because there's not as much material in a sleeve. But, and I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty excited to get off these 2.25s that are on the hem and go up to the big needle size of 2.5. Which the sweater is knit in.
I don't think I've knit anything
I think after Bearish that I wasn't going to do any more 2.5
But you
sweaters.
found that Bearish went pretty quickly.
Yeah, but I think I knit a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's going quickly, but it's like I'm really knitting, like putting a lot of hours in and just kind of not noticing.
Wow.
But when your shoulder is sore, you really notice.
Yeah, but I think you'll feel better. You'll feel better. I think I'm surprised that because this was a pieced sweater, so it wasn't like you had the whole big sweater.
Yeah, it's more manipulating the thicker yarn.
Yes, I think, and this is worsted weight, and I was really surprised that I was able to do it. And from the last episode or the episode before that, I was being very much conscious about my ergonomics of my knitting as well, which helped. So
is your wrist better now?
Yes.
Also, we're done our year-end accounting.
Yes.
Which we basically had to shut down for 3 days to do because, and so, that affects everything, like orders getting out and everything, because every quarter we say we're going to do it daily or weekly.
Right.
And
never
then we
happens.
leave it till the very last minute.
Yeah.
And then we have to shut down to get it finished.
Yeah.
And if you own
Which was also hurting my wrist.
Yeah, right. So the computer. And if you own a small business, you can totally relate. Nobody wants to do that job.
Right.
When they could be making yarn or dyeing pretty things or knitting or
doing anything else.
Anything but that. Data entry and bank reconciliations and things like that. So that was all last week. So we're done. We're going to be better next quarter. We're going to work on it periodically throughout so that we don't have to shut our company down for 3 days to get it done by the deadline. It's so terrible. It's hard to learn on procrastinating stuff like that.
I know.
We're bad.
Yeah. And it really would be worth it to do it. So you just have to book an hour every Wednesday morning or something. Okay. I don't know.
So that's the knitting stuff. So now let's talk about Coopers.
Oh, okay.
Because the other day I sent someone a text and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to have for dinner. I'm going to go up to Coopers. And they were like, what, you're going to eat Doritos? Wow, listen.
Yeah, you have no idea.
You have no idea. This is not just the corner store.
Right.
So it's been open since 1958?
No, I think it's
earlier?
1961.
1961. It's right on the sign, but
it says
100 times, but of course I can't remember.
I don't know if it's 1968 or 1961.
Okay, well it's been there for a while.
Yeah.
In the same family.
Yeah.
And it's under the old red and white label, red and white stores.
Yeah.
Is that a Canadian thing?
I don't know.
Okay. So what would that be? It's like a chain or a franchise?
Yeah, I think it was a chain, and now they're part of a group of stores called the Independent Grocers.
Okay.
I think.
So it's first and foremost, it's a Shell station. It's a gas station. Mm-hmm. So that's the first thing you see. It's the last stop for gas before the ferry.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's at a crossroads.
It's literally at a crossroads, and our road is the other road.
Yeah. So the highway to the ferry, the Trans-Canada Highway goes this way, and there's a crossroad, which is Garfield on one side of the crossroad. Right. This is common here. And it's Halliday Road on the other side.
Because whatever family owned the plot got the street named after them.
Yeah.
Hallidays and Garfields.
So even though it's a straight, I don't know if there was Garfields.
It doesn't really sound like an island name, but weird.
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from.
So you would go straight through the intersection, and then you're on another road.
Yeah.
It's very common
Confusing.
here.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're not
big on
making things easily navigatable.
Yeah. Or they can just change the names of certain sections of the street, like they did a couple years ago with Great George and University Avenue.
No, those two blocks are Great George now. Oh.
Yeah.
So is this no longer University? No, it is. Just the 3 blocks below 10th Street are...
Because there was a Great George Street, and then they just...
So what happened to the old one?
I don't know.
What's that now?
Well, still Great George, but it's just
like
a continued...
side by
I don't
side?
know. I'm not sure how it works.
Anyway,
part of University Avenue is now Great George.
Yeah.
And people that are along that street just were saying it so cavalier, like you should know that it's now randomly all of a sudden
now it's Great George. Okay.
They started using their address, of course, because now the civic address changed and they were using it. But if you haven't been to town for a while and then all of a sudden they're saying the such and such on Great George, I was like, Great George? When did they open that? Oh, it used to be university.
A week ago.
Yeah.
It's just been since we moved here. They changed it.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, so Cooper. So it's a gas station. It's a liquor store.
It used to be hard. They used to have a bigger hardware section.
They have hardware.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have.
And now they have a section of like a liquor, a local.
Yeah,
liquor
they have
store.
like all the freezers, like all the frozen food. They have a walk-in chill, like cold room
Meat
for
cutting,
your
like
beer
a
and stuff
butcher.
like that. They have a butcher counter.
Yeah.
They make their own bacon.
No,
No,
they don't make their own bacon.
they have special bacon. I'm not allowed to talk about it. There's no bacon.
You're gonna get shot.
I'm getting shot. Come on,
Jennifer.
there may or may not be bacon that's not out for sale. I haven't personally had any.
Yeah.
Ostensibly, there's some special bacon that they have sometimes.
But
Is
you
that
have to ask for it.
They have to ask for it.
Yeah.
And equally sort of mythological is the corned beef that they
Yes.
may or may not have.
Yes.
Occasionally, if you ask.
Which is excellent. I mean,
We've
I've
never had
heard that it's excellent.
it. So I don't know, God, bacon gate. I still haven't. I'm like afraid to ask for the bacon in case I get rejected.
Oh,
No bacon for you.
there's also buns.
There's buns. Secret buns. These are all things that locals know that we're just like on the outs and we don't know. We're not for sure. What are the buns?
Well, I seem to know about it. You don't know about
Well,
it.
because Ken's up there all the time.
Yes. My husband Ken.
Because
is
the
there
guys
almost
go up
every
there and
day.
they chat. They're
Yeah.
up there for like 25, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You're like, what the hell is he doing up there? They're up there chatting and getting the scoop,
Getting the secret bacon.
getting secret bacon if such a thing exists. We can't confirm or deny it. Is it in limited supply? It must be.
So
They're gonna
this is
sell a lot more of it now.
yeah, yay. But here's the real deal is that, we had talked about going to town and we're only 30 kilometers away from town.
We're like
or how
25
many
minutes
miles?
from the nearest
Yeah.
Sobeys store, which is a major commercial grocery
Right.
store. It's huge.
But as hard as it is for people to believe, even us, when we first moved here, is that it's really a pain to go. So if you want something and you have Coopers, that everybody shops at Coopers.
Yeah.
They really shop local, which is great.
Yeah.
But if you want something, because David Cooper goes to town to pick
regularly.
up stuff regularly, he'll actually go get it for you
Yeah.
and bring it back
If
himself.
you're not in a super rush, yeah.
Yeah,
Like, I think he's got
it's
light
full
bulbs
service.
for us before.
Yeah,
and stuff.
so
Yeah.
we have a certain temperature of light bulbs in the shop,
Right.
so you can see the yarn more
Right.
clearly. I forget what it is. What is it?
something to
2700
do with the
Kelvin or
Kelvins,
something.
yeah.
Anyway, so you can't just
It's a
buy them
warm
off
light.
the grocery store shelf.
Yeah.
So they'll get you stuff.
If you ask nicely, maybe
Yeah.
not all the time. I don't know. I think they're willing to do that within reason.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you get like old fashioned general store service.
And they have like fresh seafood.
Yes,
I get
very-
haddock there all the time. It's
Yes.
so delicious.
Yes.
And they do rotisserie chickens and roast pork.
Yes.
So you can go up there and get like a little chicken, like a rotisserie chicken, all
Yeah.
cooked. Bring it home. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So you do not have to eat Doritos. It's not like
We ate that last night actually.
the chicken.
Yeah.
It's
So I
good.
said to Ken, I said, "What are you cooking for supper?" He said, "Jimmy's done the cooking."
Jimmy made the chicken.
Jimmy works there. Jimmy cooked supper tonight. Oh, great! Thanks, Jimmy.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
delicious.
Yeah, it's
really
really
good.
good.
And the roast pork is really good too.
And the fish is really, really
Fish
fresh.
is really fresh. Yeah.
And they have very good, like the good quality.
They have a
local-
produce counter.
Yeah.
Like actual vegetables and stuff.
Yeah. That's where you buy your Peter Penny
Belfast
strawberries.
is not a food desert.
No, we're not.
And
we're
lots
lucky.
of local producers do bring their strawberries or blueberries or cranberries or whatever they've got going on, and they give some to Coopers, and then we all fight over it. Especially the strawberries. There's some pretty famous strawberries out here called penny strawberries. And literally people are like calling ahead, like, can you set some aside for me, because everybody wants them.
And then when corn's in season, there's a pretty famous corn.
Blooms corn.
Blooms corn.
Yeah, so life is good out here.
Yeah.
We don't want
If you're here in corn season, it's
the corn's
worth
incredible.
Getting Bloom's corn too.
Yeah. They're also very busy. People lined up around parked all up the highway just to go get the corn
at their farm.
So that's another insider secret.
Anyway, but it's nice.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah, you talk to the guy.
They have just about anything you could need, like food wise. Like if you were gonna make, not specialty items.
No.
You know, like.
Although they're getting more.
Like not like a wide range
it's not big.
Of soft cheeses or anything like that, but it's
it's not that big. Like it's pretty big. But
they do a very good job with their selection.
Yeah, there's hardly anything you can think of that would be a necessity that you wouldn't be able to get there.
Yeah, and they do they have a few canning and preserving supplies and a full range of spices and so it's pretty amazing. We feel very lucky to have it. It's a big deal for the community to have that.
Yes.
If that were to disappear, everybody would be devastated.
Yes.
Truly devastated.
Yes.
So when you live in a small town, you are attached to your general store, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Olsen's Mercantile and Little House on the Prairie. But with much nicer people. Well, Nels was nice.
Yeah.
What was that his name? Nils.
Yeah.
Mrs. Olsen was a piece of work.
And what was the daughter's name?
Nellie.
Oh, yeah. She was bad. She wasn't nice. She was a mean girl. Yeah.
It's a little strange. Okay.
Luckily, they're not like that at Cooper's.
No.
They're nice. Yeah, very friendly. And you can, if you're unsure of something, you go to Cooper's to find out.
Yeah, and the first time I went in, we moved. And everybody was very curious to find out who had bought the big yellow house and what we were all about. And the first thing I got asked as Coopers was, did you bring any kids with you?
Yeah.
I was like, no. They're like, oh, we need kids for the school. I was like, well, even if I start now, I don't think I can help. It's going to be 5 years down the road. And they're like, damn it.
Yeah.
Sorry to disappoint.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's one of the delights of living in a small community is to have your general store, and luckily people are supporting it. Yeah. There used to be a lot of them in all the little communities.
Yeah, there was some more quite close to here. They were fairly close together, and now this is the one for all of Big Belfast, probably nearly. I would think.
And everybody makes sure that they go there because it would really be devastation if we lost Coopers. So.
Yeah. So our hats off to the Coopers for keeping us all supplied with everything we need.
That's right.
It's always a joy to go up there.
Yes.
Okay.
So now we're going to do a shop update.
Oh, okay, good.
So do you want to do the store stuff first, or do we want to talk about the special?
Let's do the store stuff first.
Okay. So we're going to just take a little break because I don't have my examples of...
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we're back. Shop update. So as some of you know, because we've showed them, we're very happy to have Fox Mountain Spindles supply us with knitting accoutrements. Accoutrement. So, which we've been selling like crazy. So we just want to say that we're back in stock of Nostepinnes.
So you too can turn your yarn into an avocado.
Yes. So we've talked about this before. So for people that don't know, it is a ball winder where you can make a center pull ball. And it makes the most satisfying little avocado, or you can make a cake. I have been experimenting with my style of balls, as we've been talking about, and it winds on your ball like that. You slide it off, and then you've got this lovely ball that stays firm right to the end.
I almost want to do that with my next lace one. You'll have to teach me how to do it.
So lace, that's 500 yards.
Yeah.
Okay, that's long. So
it would be so nice.
Did I say I was going to do a tutorial for this?
I don't know, maybe we will eventually.
Yeah, we will eventually. But anyway, I did a quick demonstration. There's not anybody that you show it to that doesn't buy one. because it's very satisfying to do if you like to wind balls.
So that's the
we have
Nostepinne.
lots of those in stock, Nostepinnes.
Okay.
And then the other thing is the Yarn Buddy, which is the guy that makes his name is Scott. Scott is, I don't know, it's
wonderful.
Yes, he's
Soft
a
and beautiful.
very good woodworker.
Yeah.
And he uses local woods, and this mechanism on this Yarn Buddy is unbelievable. So after you wind your ball with a Nostepinne, or you can use a regular ball of yarn, like something that has a hole in the center of it. You put it on this, and he uses a very high quality ball bearing mechanism inside, which makes it really smooth. And then you put your ball on, and then you put this over top of it just to keep everything.
Your yarn to you.
Yeah, and you can feed your yarn through there, and it just comes out like silk.
Life wonderful.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So we have the Yarn Buddies in stock as well, and he does these. I guess they're probably silicone feet, little tiny feet on the bottom of them, and it doesn't slide.
Oh yeah, so we can show.
Yeah.
So feet also protect your furniture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can just use that. So those are back in stock.
Okay. And
he gets a panic call.
Oh Lord, because they do sell out quite quickly.
Yeah.
And we're gradually trying to get all the colors of Kid Silk Haze because we do love to pair it. Like, look at how beautiful some of these would be.
Yeah.
So we got 4 new colors.
No, we've also got a brown.
Oh, okay.
And we've got called Bark, and we've got Burnt Caramel, which is kind of like a corally. They're back there.
Oh.
I like this because I was just
planning
my next.
Okay. This has nothing to do with you guys.
Okay. I was like, look at that. Look, if I had known.
It's beautiful.
I know.
Okay, so we'll list, I'm going to finally, I guess, put the ROWAN Kid Silk Haze on our side menu under yarns so that you can find it easily. But I'll link to it in the show notes too. But we have new colors. Ooh. So, and these pair, like we always try to order things that we think will pair with other yarns that we already carry, like November Sky, and this would be like a seagull. Yeah. This could go with slate or with seagull.
Yes.
Either of these could also go with oyster.
Yeah.
Could go with your raspberry cordial or quartz or any of the pink. Oh, with quartz, it would be beautiful. That would be like a whole pink bonanza. Okay. So anyway, new colors in ROWAN Kid Silk. And for those of you who don't know, we just like to knit with it double-stranded. It adds a lot of nice bloom.
Strand it with another yarn.
Yeah, with another wool yarn, because this is mohair and silk.
Yeah.
And it's very strong, and it just adds bloom and warmth and loft to your project.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty popular thing to do, to double strand it.
Right.
Which means, of course, you have to buy the same yardage of this as you do in the other balls, but typically they're not the same amount. So you just have to do a little bit of math.
There's quite a lot. They're 25 gram balls, but you've got 200 and...
Yeah, well, I don't have my glasses on. 230 yards.
30,
Yeah. So you just have to figure out how much you need. But yeah, that's a popular way to use that.
Yes, and we love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the big exciting thing that we have on our end is the Meadow collection. It are 8 colors that we launched probably 2 summers ago.
Yeah.
And
in spring. We're dreaming of spring.
Yeah, and I'll show a couple of the projects that we had done with them. And it was a fingering weight, 100% wool yarn. So right now the only sort of fingering weight we carry is the point prim sock, but it's got mohair in it, and certain people cannot work with mohair or don't enjoy wearing it. So we had to work through a little bit of a production issue with the 100% wool in a fingering weight because it's a little bit more challenging to spin, and we've talked about this months ago, where we had kind of like discontinued it temporarily until we could get that sorted out.
Yeah.
So we found some fleeces that we thought were really good to make 100% wool fingering, and we've made the Meadow collection again now. Right. So I'm just going to show a little slideshow of all the colors here because I don't have them all with us today. So you'll head over there for a minute, and then we'll catch you back after. so I love this collection.
Yes,
and no matter what base I dye it in, it will sell immediately.
Yeah.
The dark blue, the Twilight variegated one, is our best-selling color of all time ever.
Right.
But for a long time now, we haven't been able to make it in the fingering weight, and now we've made a bunch.
Yeah.
And it's just for our viewers. So I'm not going to be listing it on the website for the public because, of course, we have a couple batches, but we don't have thousands of them.
Right.
So the link is in the show notes, and we would love for you to go over there and grab some. I don't know when we'll do it again. It just depends on how consistently we think we can produce it, but we're trying to kind of get it back online.
Right.
And
it's just a matter of Ken sorts the fleeces and kind of grades them, and when he's got some that are suitable for that, he puts them aside, and then we make a batch of the 100% wool fingering. So
and the thing about the colors is there's a speckled version and a variegated version of each of the 4 colors, and they are a gradient. So they're designed by me to go from the dark blue to the orangey green in a gradient fashion. And so that each subsequent one contains some of the colors of the one behind it and some of the colors of the one ahead of it, and they blend together, which you'll see in the projects that I showed in the slideshow. Yeah.
And the speckled ones all harmonize with similar to what we did in the
So it's really cool for gradient projects or anything where you want sort of complementary yarns, or you want to intermingle maybe a speckle with a more solid version of that speckle that will match perfectly because they all contain the same tones. And I really spent a long time working on how to get from a blue and purple down to a yellow green as a gradient. Was probably one of my biggest dyeing projects that I've ever worked on. So I was very proud of it at the time, and then we just kind of can't make it in fingering anyway. And then I started making the colors in Aran and Worsted. So they are available in those thicker weights too, if you want to order them. Those are listed publicly. But people love the fingering for gradient shawl projects, and so we've been trying to get that going because it typically sells out very quickly.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Then you just have to make more, which is really hard. So we've put them up for you.
Yeah.
And that's that. So go on over and take a look after you finish watching, and you can link through the show notes.
Yes, so that's very exciting.
I'm really excited to get to work with them again.
Yeah, they're beautiful. Yeah. They're beautiful colors. So great. So
Fiber Festival.
Fiber Festival. So the update from the Fiber Festival committee is that things are just moving along. There was a call for vendors and instructors. So as we talked about before, there'll be workshops and there'll be booths for vending for the marketplace. So the call for vendors and instructors is still open until February 15th. So we welcome
you to apply to come either sell yarns at the festival or teach. We're particularly looking for crochet teachers. Yes. So if you know anyone who teaches crochet anywhere in North America
that wants to come to PEI and teach,
please send them the website and have them apply and send us their curriculum list and things, because we really want to add some crochet, but we're having a hard time getting a teacher for that. Yeah.
It seems like crochet is pretty popular here, but it seems like it's more popular on the West Coast for some reason, because I did go into Ravelry and look to see like some of the well-known crocheters, and a lot of them are either in the southern US or on the West Coast. So we're hoping to have somebody that
who can teach maybe some more advanced classes in crochet. Some more advanced techniques.
So so just to be there's been some questions that have gone to the committee about exactly what does fiber mean, because there are other fibers other than wool. So the festival is focused on fibers. Let's call it protein-based fibers, I guess. So wool, but also natural fibers from other alpacas and goats and rabbits and things. So it does not include
cellulose fiber.
Paper.
Right.
Or and the priority is not fabric, as in quilting, which is, some quilters have been really disappointed. So, and I know that fiber cotton fiber goes into most of the quilting things, so we're sorry but we really, this is the first time that the committee, the people that work on the committee have done this, so they felt that they needed to keep the focus a little bit narrow, and we'll see what happens. There's a lot of moving parts for people to try to manage to get this going, so it's just a matter of they can't do everything, so they wanted to do what they're doing very well, so right now it just needs a little bit of a focus. And so those are the fibers that, when they call it the Fiber Festival that they're talking about. However,
the PEI Protein Fiber Festival just doesn't sound the same.
No. PEIPPF.
You want to split, if you want to split hairs.
Okay. So that's why it's not that we didn't want to be inclusive to other crafts, and but that's what the committee had to decide, just so they could manage.
Of course, of course, you have to name your audience and your focus,
right? Yeah. And the other announcement that they made, which is pretty good, is that there's going to be like a little startup size booth.
We're calling it the Swatch Zone.
Yeah, so that's what we're calling it.
It's really cool. Because it's like if you don't have enough inventory, or you don't want to commit to the large 8x8 booth,
right?
They've created smaller booths for smaller size scale vendors, basically, and that's really, really cool. I love that. Because I've been in the startup zone in my former life. At a big show, the Globe Conference, which is like a clean tech conference that takes place in Vancouver every second year. And it's a great opportunity to go to a big show, but with a smaller commitment that's more sort of like in tune with the size of your business. And so if you've been watching and you were thinking you'd like to vend, but you were thinking maybe it's too big, there are smaller booths available now for businesses that just have a little bit less scale than what, you're not going to bring 10,000 balls of yarn or whatever. Right. Yeah.
And the fiber also includes all of those fiber that's suitable for all those handcrafts that involve fiber, like felting, wet felting, rug hooking, knitting, crochet, obviously. Weaving, I don't know, it would be included, but there's not, there's quite an active weaving community in PEI. But
if you sell dyed bats or something like that, especially for hand spinning, that would be, what do you call them? Bumps? What do you call them?
Well, we call it a bump when we make it here, but it's it would be the braids.
Yeah, like anything for hand spinning?
Yeah, for hand spinning. So the committee wants to try to support those fiber-related handcrafts as much as fiber arts. Yeah. Protein fiber arts. And then who knows what'll happen? I don't know. They'll have to tell us after, like, what happened, how it went, and so forth. And so that's that. So,
cool. We're pretty excited. It's a long way away, but
we got our vendor application in. So
So we hope that some people will see this and decide to come join.
It seems like a long way.
I know.
And even though January's gone on for 8 weeks, it's got it's February.
Is that tomorrow? No, that's Saturday.
Tomorrow.
Okay, well, tomorrow.
Yes.
If we're watching this.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is unbelievable and scary all at the same time.
How fast time's going by?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. How fast is going by, but yet it just never end. I don't know. It's,
how much yarn you have to make.
Yeah, it's actually
how much yarn. Part.
Yes. That's the terrifying part. So
we're going to need a lot of yarn.
Yeah.
We're going to need a bigger mill.
Yeah.
Another just a Jaws quote.
Yeah. A reference to it. So so if you know anybody, and it's funny because we know how active they are on social media, because then we're getting calls about our knit night.
Oh, okay.
Like that. So in groups that are planning on coming to the Fiber Festival, then I've gotten a couple messages about if we're going to be open and that kind of thing. So
yeah. And we're going to be in the podcaster lounge for a period of time, and we're going to stage a knit night. Is that right? We're going to have like our knit night in the podcaster lounge. So we're going to bring our knitting and we'll hang out. We're not sure what's going to be happening with knit night that week. our regular knit night,
yeah,
we might be a little bit busy. We're not sure.
The one before and the one after. So
could be dicey.
But in our shop on Monday nights. So that knit night might or might not happen.
Yeah.
But we won't want to miss the knit night experience. So during the day when we're in the podcast
so our shift
lounge.
at the podcast lounge, we're gonna sit and knit.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. What else are you gonna do? You
can
talk and knit.
I guess I better figure out what kind of swatch I'm gonna knit. So I don't
it's nothing too complicated.
Nothing too complicated. Yeah. So
that's a chance to come knit with us, in other words.
Yeah.
If in case knit night, the regularly scheduled knit night doesn't go.
Yeah, and if you haven't heard about our knit night, I want to manage expectations that it's mostly talking and making mistakes.
I don't know what I knit last night. I knit a couple rows. I ate a lot of brownies. They were so good.
Yes.
Rachel looks after us so well with the baked goods.
Ken always, if there's something left from knit night, Ken always gets to enjoy it with his coffee in the evening.
Well, if there's any left today when I go back in, I'm taking another one.
Knit night ends at 8:30, so he's got his coffee all queued up to go for 8:35. So I guess I show up with the baking from knit night, and last night he said, these aren't good. He said they're, insert expletive, good.
I'm wondering if there's any left over there now.
I don't know.
Another one.
I don't know. Now we're talking about it. They were really good brownies. Very Rachel,
gooey.
You outdid yourself.
Yeah, very yummy. Yeah. All right. So I guess that's it for today then.
Yes.
More knitting next time, because I definitely took a break. Well, you accomplished a lot, but
it seems like it, but it's
not a lot of technical help this episode. But we'll figure something out for next.
We didn't have any ask us anything questions.
Okay.
Except about a yarn color, which I'll respond to.
So join the Ravelry group. We have a Ravelry group with the sheep wearing the Anne braids and hat.
Yeah.
And you can ask us absolutely anything in that. There's a thread for Ask Us Anything, and we'll talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
We'll
so we can't. It's a no chat thread, right? So we can't reply directly on that thread. So
we'll bring it forward.
We'll bring it forward as long as it's something that has kind of a general
appeal for everybody to know the answer.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, perfect. And please give us a thumbs up if you like the video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share with your other social media friends so that we can get as many viewers as possible.
I think we're getting really close to 4,000
subscribers. We're getting close to 4,000. We would love to get to 4,000 subscribers by this air, really. But certainly next month. Yeah. That'll help us a lot. Yeah. So thank you, everyone. It was really great to spend some more time with you.
Bye.
Bye.